Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here, and Janna was just released. Let's take a look at her. I tried to delay this video so that all of the cards could fully load, especially all their splash arts, because some of these look really cool. Some of them didn't quite load, so we'll show as many as we can, but that's also why this video was a little bit delayed today. So starting off with Janna, 4 cost, 2/4, play Updraft 2 to draw 2 at the next round start. Now Updraft, it was revealed yesterday or 2 days ago. What that is you are shuffling cards back into your deck, and then next time you draw them, their cost is going to be reduced down by 1. So here you play her, she's shuffling 2 of your cards back into your deck, and then you're going to draw 2 more cards at the next round start. Also, she has each round, the first 3 times you draw a card, reduce its cost by 1 this round. Now this is playing into each other quite well. Not only is she reducing down the cards you draw, but with the updraft, she also is reducing down those cards. So if you draw a card that was also updrafted, it's now going to be reduced down by 2. She also has some other cards that have some other cost reduction effects, so some of the cards for her you're going to be playing are going to be massively discounted. Now her level up condition is I've seen you play 6 cost reduced cards. This will probably take you a round or 2 to do. Probably will be tougher when you're first leveling her up, as in leveling her up in Path of Champions, but I think later on you'll be able to get this done fairly easily, probably within 1 to 2 rounds. Well, probably 2 rounds most cases. Once she levels up, she goes to a 3/5, and she gains Elusive. Now at round start, you draw 1, so just always drawing 1 extra card, and now every time you draw a card, reduce its cost by 1 this round. So you will have to be playing the cards as you draw them to benefit from that cost reduction, but this is going to be an amazing effect. Also, gain Elusive, one of the strongest keywords. This is going to be awesome. Her champion spell is Eye of the Storm, 4 cost burst, give an ally 2 power this round and draw 2. Then since it's also the champion spell, it's creating a Janna or Janna in your deck. Now this does seem a bit expensive. Yes, you are getting a draw 2, and drawing cards is very good for this champion. And then you do have that little effect of also buffing up one of your units. It is a pretty expensive card though, so you might not want to use this too often unless it's able to get some cost reduction in your starting deck. For the card art, this one is still not loading, but for the level up form, she apparently can transform into an angel, or at least angelic looking figure, and it's fighting those same tentacles that we saw in the Nyla cards. So pretty cool looking splash art. And then here's the splash art for the spell. Pretty nice effect, looking at you giving your target a wind shield, which is very similar for how she used to play in League of Legends. Next up we have the Windborn Mariner, so 2 cost, 3/1 with quick attack. And then if you've drawn 3 or more cards this round, I cost 2 less. So you'll be able to play this card for free as long as you're drawing enough. That is a very powerful effect. This will be a very strong card, especially if you're just able to get some extra draw, which normally is quite easy to do in Path of Champions. This card will be amazing just on its own, but once you get a couple items on this, it'll probably be absolutely unstoppable. Taking a look at the card art, quite interesting. His eyes look kind of strange there, and then also he seems to have some angelic wings as well. Not sure what he is surfing on, but pretty cool art. This is a P and Z card, but honestly it looks more like a card that would belong with Talia. Next up we have Miriam, Temple Caretaker, so 2 cost, 2/3, play Updraft 1 to either draw 1 or refill your spell mana. Also seems like a very solid card. Having the option to either get some more draw, which that might push you over the edge to get 3 draw in a single round, letting you play the previous card for free, or being able to completely refill your spell mana. This seems again like a very strong card with a decent stat line as well. If we take a look at the card art, seems overall very wholesome, but this architecture kind of looks more like Ionia than, again, Piltover and Zon. Next up we have the Sunken Temple, so 5 cost landmark, round and updraft your hand, so just shuffling your entire hand into your deck, and then round start, draw that many cards +1. Pretty expensive, but this will actually be quite a strong effect, since this will essentially work to just give you a whole bunch of cost reduction on your cards. Since any card you don't play will get shuffled back in your deck, you'll get another card that will probably have a discount on it from being updrafted, so seems like a pretty solid card. If we take a look at the card art, this one won't load either, but it looks like it's a Sunken Temple of someone that looks the exact same as Janna. Next up, we have Gailsong Call. So 1 cost slow, summon a Gailsong Swallow. So pretty simple. And that Gailsong Swallow, as you see, there's no gem, so this card can only be created. It can't be put in your deck. 1 cost, 2/1. So it seems like a pretty simple spell. This is a elemental spell, and then the bird is obviously counts as a bird. So this could really help some decks that either need to benefit from elemental spells or want to get some more subtypes. This could really be quite beneficial. And this could be very simple if you get like slow but steady. So this goes off twice. You spend 1 mana to get 2/2/1s. If you also get something like Yip's Genius, since this is a 1 cost spell, get buffed up even more. So overall, just a solid card, but could be quite strong if you just get a couple upgrades on it. Taking a look at the card art, will it load? Alright, so a bunch of very interesting birds that all seem to have little halos. So this whole set definitely has some heavenly or angelic themes to it. Next we have Gailsong Flock. So 5 cost slow, summon a Gailsong Swallow, so the same card as we saw previously, and granted 1/1 for each other elemental spell and skill you've played this game, and draw 1. So this card's doing a bunch, but if you've been able to play a bunch of other elemental spells, you'll be able to summon a giant Gailsong Swallow, and you get that draw 1. So really, this is only going to be a good spell if you're playing a bunch of elemental spells. Otherwise, it's kind of useless. So very niche, but will work out well in some decks and some situations. Next up, we have Whining Gale. So deal 2 to a unit, increase my damage by 1 for each other card you've played this round up to 3. Seems like it'll work great for Janna. If you're playing a whole bunch of other cards, you'll be able to use this and potentially be dealing up to 5 damage for just a 3 cost spell. So pretty good on its own. Would be fun to see this potentially in the Janna starting deck for Path of Champions. And if you look at the card art, very simple and straightforward like most spells. Next up, we have Divine Whirlwind. So this one is fast, the previous one was slow. 5 cost. If you've drawn 3 cards, 3 or more cards this round, I cost 2 less. And then deal 3 to a unit and 2 to the enemy nexus. So you should normally be able to get that cost reduction, so this will go down to a 3 cost. Dealing 3 to a unit and 2 to the nexus is pretty strong, and this is also a elemental spell, and the card art's not wanting to load. Perfect. Next up, we have Figurehead of the Deep. So 6 cost, 4/4. This also looks to be the figure we saw in the previous card reveals that I was wondering who it was. Guess this is why I didn't know it wasn't in the game yet. So when you play a elemental spell or skill, copy it with the same targets. Now that is pretty crazy, just duplicating all of your spells and skills as long as they are elemental. It is a pretty expensive spell, but there's a lot of different cost reduction in the game, especially just with Janna herself. So getting this out a little bit cheaper and just being able to double all elemental spells and skills seems pretty crazy. So this will definitely be a fun one to use in Path of Champions. Then if we look at the card art, yep, we see this creepy creature attacking Nyla's boat, which Janna turns into a angelic figure and comes in and helps save them later. And then last up, we have the Exalted Cloudwinder. So 5 cost, 3/2 with quick attack. If you've drawn 3 or more cards this round, I cost 2 less. And then when I'm summoned, draw 2 at next round start. So this again seems like a solid unit and really playing into what you're trying to do with Janna of always drawing 3 or more cards and playing 3 or more cards in a round if possible. So like most of the other units, this has some built-in cost reduction, but this could also get updrafted, or if it's drawn by Janna, it's going to get even more cost reduction. So while this is pretty bad stat line for a 5 cost, playing this for 3 cost, 2 cost, or even a 1 cost is going to be a solid unit. If we take a look at the card art, we see the port of what looks like Piltover and Zon, and then this boat down here in the bottom right looks like it's Nyla's boat. And this unit itself looks like another one of those angelic creatures. They like to put all of those wings on it. Overall, I'm getting super excited about this patch. I think Janna is going to be tons of fun. A champion built around cost reduction and drawing a bunch of cards, playing those cards for free. I think that's going to be great. Cost reduction as a mechanic is a lot of fun in Path of Champions. And we normally haven't had a champion that is solely built around it. Like sometimes we'll have star powers that are built around it, but having the champion themselves built around cost reduction is pretty awesome. And it looks like she's going to have a lot of very cheap cards to play. So really, you're probably going to try to get some cost reduction on her so she can get on the board as fast as possible. Really looking forward to this patch and really looking forward to playing this champion. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I hope you guys have a great day and a great weekend.